There is a strange little moment I think almost everyone has experienced. You open the door and walk into your home after a long day. No one has said anything to you. Nothing dramatic has happened. But then you see your shoes pointing in two different directions. A glass from last night still sitting on the table. A few dishes in the sink quietly judging your life choices. And that one chair in your bedroom that has officially become a closet without doors. And suddenly, you sigh. Not because the gloss is heavy, not because the dishes have spiritual powers, but because your brain has just received a very clear notification. There are too many unfinished things here. And this is where it gets interesting. Most people think a clean home is just about hygiene, that people with tidy homes are simply more disciplined, more hardworking, or somehow born with a mysterious energy the rest of us never received. But in reality, a clean home is not just about wiping counters, washing dishes, or folding clothes. It is environmental psychology. It is the way your living space affects your focus, your emotions, your sense of control, and even the way you see yourself. In this video, we are going to talk about a very ordinary truth. Sometimes, if you want a clearer mind, you do not start with your thoughts. You start with one small corner of your home.
And when I say start with one small corner of your home, I do not mean you need to become some kind of cleaning warrior, standing in the middle of your living room with a mop in your hand, fire in your eyes, and the Avengers soundtrack playing in the background. No, let's stay calm. We are not talking about forcing yourself into a minimalist lifestyle where your entire home contains one chair, one cup, and a spiritually enlightened houseplant. We are talking about something much more practical. Your external environment can either lift your internal state or quietly drag it down, day after day. A messy room is not just stuff in the wrong place. To your brain, it can look like a visual to-do list. The dishes in the sink are not just dishes. They say you have not finished dealing with that meal. The clothes on the chair are not just clothes. They say you have not finished taking care of yourself. The papers scattered across your desk are not just papers. They say there are too many decisions waiting for you. And the funny thing about the brain is that it usually does not announce, I am experiencing cognitive overload due to excessive visual stimuli. No, it shows up in much more human ways. You feel irritated, restless, unfocused, heavy, or suddenly very committed to lying down and scrolling on your phone for 3 hours. So maybe you are not lazy. Maybe you are overwhelmed. Most people think clutter is only the result of a messy mind, but sometimes clutter is also one of the reasons your mind becomes even messier. That is the twist.
When your living space is full of unfinished signals, your brain treats them like open tabs in a browser. One tab is the sink. One tab is the unmade bed. One tab is the email you have not answered. One tab is that shirt on the chair that exists in a mysterious quantum state, clean, dirty, and emotionally threatening at the same time. Then you wonder, why can't I focus? Maybe it is not because you lack ability. Maybe your environment keeps pulling your attention away from the present moment. But a cleaner space does more than help you focus. It also gives you something deeply important, a sense of control. In life, there are so many things we cannot control. Your boss's mood, a client changing their mind at the last minute, someone reading your message and not replying, traffic, prices going up, or that terrifying sentence, can we talk for a minute, which, as we all know, almost never means 1 minute. The outside world is unpredictable, but your bed can be made, your desk can be wiped, your glass can be carried to the sink. One small corner of your room can be brought back into order. It sounds tiny, but to your nervous system, those tiny actions send a powerful message. I can still influence my life. And sometimes that feeling alone is enough to make a person feel a little less helpless. Now let's go one layer deeper, identity. People with tidy homes are not necessarily people who love cleaning. Believe me, very few people wake up in the morning, open the curtains, see the sunlight, and joyfully whisper, "What a beautiful day to scrub the toilet." No, they get tired too. They get lazy too. They also have days when they want to throw everything into one basket and call it interior design. But the difference is this. They have repeated small actions often enough to build an identity. I am someone who takes care of my space. Once you believe that about yourself, the behavior becomes lighter. You do not need to argue with yourself for 20 minutes. You eat, then you wash the dish. You use something, then you put it back. You wake up, then you make the bed. Not because you are a saint of discipline, but because that is simply how you live. Now let's see whether any of these signs feel familiar. The first sign, you walk into your home and immediately feel drained. No one has done anything to you, but the room makes you feel like you just stepped into a to-do list. The second sign, you rest, but you do not really feel rested. You lie down to watch a movie, but your eyes keep moving toward the pile of clothes waiting in the corner. Your body is still, but your mind keeps whispering you should be cleaning. The third sign, you cannot start because everything has piled up too much. One dish is easy. A sink full of dishes feels like a survival mission. One shirt is easy to put away. A whole chair covered in clothes suddenly becomes a creature with its own territory. The fourth sign, you label yourself as a messy person. You say, I'm just disorganized. But the more you repeat that, the more you reinforce the old identity. And once you believe you are naturally messy, you have fewer reasons to begin changing. The fifth sign, you only clean when someone is coming over. This is actually fascinating because it proves you are not helpless. You can clean, sometimes very quickly. The real question is, why does someone else's opinion get more priority than your own daily comfort? If at least two of these signs sound like you, comment number 1, not to shame yourself, but to recognize this. Oh, my home has been speaking to my nervous system every single day.
So what is the solution? First, make it so small you cannot refuse. Do not begin with, starting today, I will change my entire life, deep clean my whole house, become organized, eat healthy, sleep early, meditate, and become the best version of myself. That sounds inspiring, but usually you get exhausted just listening to your own plan. Choose one area, one bed, one sink, one desk, one kitchen counter. Keep that one area clean for 7 days, just one. Because the first goal is not to have a perfect home. The first goal is to give your brain new evidence. I can keep one small promise to myself. Second, clean while the task is still small. Wash the dish after eating. Wipe the counter after cooking. Put something away after using it. The rule is simple. If it takes less than 2 minutes, do it now. Because a small task that gets delayed does not disappear. It recruits friends. Third, attach cleaning to habits you already have. After making coffee, wipe the counter. After brushing your teeth, rinse the sink. After changing clothes, put them in the laundry basket. Before bed, return 3 items to their place. When a new habit attaches itself to an old habit, it needs less willpower. It simply rides on an existing track. Fourth, turn cleaning into a pleasant ritual. Play music. Listen to a podcast. Set a timer for 10 minutes. Make a drink. Tell yourself, I am not being punished. I am coming back to care for my space. And fifth, separate the fact from the interpretation. The fact is, there are dishes in the sink. The interpretation is, I am a failure. The fact needs to be handled. The interpretation needs to be put down. Before you clean, name the emotion. I feel overwhelmed. I feel tired. I feel tense. Naming the emotion makes it less vague and less frightening. Then, bring your body back first. Inhale for 4 counts. Exhale for 6. Repeat a few times. Feel your feet on the floor. Then choose just one object to put away. You do not need to rescue your entire home in one night. You only need to begin one small movement. And if you live with other people, you may need one clear boundary sentence. For example, I need this desk area to stay clear because it helps me focus and feel calm. A boundary is not about controlling other people. It is about protecting a small zone of peace for your nervous system. If you want to try this, comment number 2. Then choose one small area in your home and keep it clean for 7 days. You do not need to show off the result. Just observe. Does your mood feel lighter? Does your energy shift? And do you begin to look at yourself with a little more kindness?
And after those 7 days, your home may still not be perfect. There may still be busy days. There may still be a shirt temporarily hanging on a chair. There may still be a mysterious glass appearing beside your bed, as if it walked there by itself with free will. But the point is not to become a perfectly tidy person. The point is to begin a different relationship with your living space. You are not cleaning to punish yourself. You are not cleaning to prove you are good enough. You are not cleaning because you are afraid someone will judge you. You are cleaning because you deserve to live in a place where it feels easier to breathe. In the end, your home does not only reflect your standards, it also reflects how you treat yourself.
If this video was helpful, subscribe to the channel so we can keep exploring psychology in a way that feels human, practical, and healing. I'm Lumi, and I'm here to share, listen, and connect with those who are exhausted from having to be strong alone for far too long.